Hello guys, let's go ahead and get started. Yes, as you are seeing, I did get bangs, so if you're noticing something different, that is what is different, I know. So first I'm just pinning those back and getting those out of my face. I have already applied my foundation, which is this one by Glam. This is just their liquid mineral foundation. And then for concealer, I just use the Makeup Forever Full Cover HD concealer. This is a really great concealer. I just had to cover up a few nasty blemishes. For powder, I just use my Stay Matte powder by Rimmel in the color Sandstorm. So to get started on the rest of my face makeup, I am taking that gray eyeshadow that you saw in that little MAC palette, and with just a flat top kind of foundation brush, I just took that and put that in the contours of my cheeks and in the hollows of my neck, just to give myself kind of like a sickly, sunken in appearance to my face and neck. So it should look something like that. Next, I am taking this Galaxy Artistry palette, and with the dark colors in the palette, I'm just going to give myself a very untidy, very messy, smoky eye, because we are going to make it look all smudged and, you know, kind of wet looking, like I have been crying. So I'm just very messily going through and blending this in all over my eyes, because, you know, when things like this happen, your eye makeup isn't going to be, what's the word, on fleek, I guess you could say. For eyeliner, I am taking the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil by Urban Decay and putting that through on my waterline. For mascara, I am taking the Colossal Chaotic Lash mascara by Maybelline, and I'm just very messily applying this to my eyelashes. This mascara is supposed to make your eyelashes look super kind of clumpy and rocker, I guess you could say. I think that's what the commercial advertised. I don't really know, but I'm just sweeping those through onto my eyelashes to give them some sort of look to them, but nothing like super tidy. Then I'm just taking a wet washcloth and I'm just kind of sweeping down my mascara onto my face to make it look like I have been crying, I guess you could say, or just really kind of messy eye makeup. The next product that I'm going to be using are these temporary tattoos. I really wanted to use those scratches for this look. It didn't really go well with the look, but I really wanted to use it. So basically I just cut it out and I placed it where I wanted it on my face. Then all you do is just remove the clear plastic on top, place it on your face with the design down, and then just take a wet washcloth and hold it onto your face for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you very easily just peel it right off your face to give it this effect, which looks super cool. I love the temporary tattoos. Next, I'm taking my Cinema Secrets Undead makeup stack, and I'm just going to be applying some of the yellow and green tones around the scratches to make them look a little bit bruised and, you know, painful, because I imagine that would hurt really bad. Then I'm just taking just some fake blood that I got from the dollar store, and I'm just applying that over top of that as well, just to make it look like it's super fresh and bleeding. And then for the absolute fail of this makeup look is this appliance. I got this kind of cut slit throat appliance from the Spirit Halloween store, and I wanted this to be the main look of this makeup look, but as you can see, it is super thick, and it really didn't turn out good, so I'm not exactly 100% happy with this, but you know, I went for it and tried it anyway. So basically you're just going to want to lay it down where you want it on your neck, and to apply it I'm just using some good old liquid latex, which is like a must for Halloween makeup looks in my opinion, and on just a brush that I wasn't going to be using anymore, I just applied that to the back of the appliance and applied it to my neck. Now the liquid latex didn't help it stick very good. It just kept kind of like falling off, and I think a lot of that has to do with how thick the appliance is. I feel like this would have turned out a lot better if the material was thinner, but you live and you learn. Would I recommend buying this appliance? No, but you know, you gotta try things in order to find out if they work or not. So I just kind of stuck it on there as best as I could, and then I took some spirit gum and I applied that to the ends of the appliance and used that to help it stick, which it did work out a lot better that way. So, you know, just a tip, make sure you tap the spirit gum before you apply anything to it, because it'll stick better, trust me. trying everything. This is about as good as I could get it onto my neck, you know, whatever. Next, I'm just taking some liquid latex and applying that to the top and bottom of the appliance just to kind of hide the edges as best as I could, and then I let it dry. It does dry clear, so just make sure you let it dry before you apply each coat. Like in between each coat, make sure it dries. Then for the very bottom, I kind of wanted to make it look as more realistic, so what I did is I applied liquid latex on the bottom, and I unrolled a cotton ball and applied that to the bottom of my neck as well, and then applied more liquid latex on top of that. My goal with this was trying to make it look like the cut was a lot bigger, just to kind of hide the edges a little bit. So then after that dried up fully, I just took, be careful, but I took scissors and I kind of opened up that cotton ball that we made and just kind of made like an open slit and just kind of brought it down a little bit to make it look like there was going to be some extra skin hanging, if you know what I mean. So I just kind of wanted to make the cut look a little bit more wide and, you know, deeper, I guess you could say. Then I just went over that with some foundation because obviously you would very much be able to tell it was fake if you left it white. So make sure you apply foundation over top of the cotton and the liquid latex that you applied. Then I just went in with just some red cream makeup from the Halloween store, and on a brush I just applied that to the bottom part of the appliance to make it look like the cut extended down deeper. And then it's time for the best makeup product in the whole world, which is Bloody Scab. The difference between Bloody Scab and fake blood is fake blood remains like wet and just fresh blood looking, whereas Bloody Scab makes it look more old, dried up, kind of blood clotty type look, which makes it look super realistic. So on just a little cheap little doe foot applicator brush, I just took a great amount of this and applied it all over the appliance to make it look like it was, you know, bleeding and, you know, just kind of nasty and clogged with blood. So yeah, just a ton of that. Then I went back in with that theatrical blood from the dollar store, and I applied this on over top of that to make it look like it was still running with blood, because, you know, if you get your throat slit, obviously it's not just going to stop bleeding. So I just kind of did that and applied that down onto my neck as well. Then I also went back in with that Cinema Secrets Undead stack, and with the same yellow and green cream colors, I applied that all around the appliance to make it look like the skin around the area was a little bit irritated and angry, you know, obviously. And then of course you can never have enough fake blood. I love this stuff. I have way too much fun with fake blood. I have a problem. And then to add one more little cut kind of scrape on my face is I just did a thin layer of liquid latex just on a random spot on my face, let that dry, and then I just took some scissors, again, be careful, and just kind of made little kind of openings with that to make it look like my face was scraped or cut or, you know, whatever. I just wanted to add something else to my face, and then I just took the dark color from that Cinema Secret stack and just added that around my eye and on my lip to make it look like I was bruised all over my face. And then a Halloween look is never complete unless you use contacts. These contacts that I'm going to be using today are by Camo Eyes. They are non-prescription lenses, so again, please be careful and wear at your own risk. And the ones that I'm using today are Bloodshot, and these are amazing. These are probably my favorites that I used for this year so far. They just look super creepy and just make your eyes look really kind of scary and bloodshot and just freaky looking. So you could either leave the look like this, or you could add in some more blood, which of course I did. And I just went in with some zombie blood spray. Be careful, this will stain fabric, so don't have anything near you that will stain. And I just sprayed that all over my face before I completely finished the look. Okay everyone, so here's how the look turned out. It didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to, but hey, I tried and I still uploaded it for you guys. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give a huge thumbs up and don't forget to go down and subscribe. But until then, I will see you very soon in my next Halloween makeup video. Bye guys!